At 18 to the hour here in the I'm Swine program. We're so late it's ridiculous, but please welcome out to the I'm Swine program from Washington, D.C., Congressman Darrell Issa. Good morning, Congressman Issa.
Good morning, Don. And I know I've been back too often when he says, well, he could come, he could not come, he could stay, he could go, I don't care. So nice to see you, sort of.
Well, I didn't say I didn't care. I just said, did I say that?
Yeah. You said either way is okay with you.
Well, it was. I'll tell you why. It has nothing to do with you. I like you. But the news is also depressing. And I always think you guys are jerking our chain anyway. So I don't know. No, let's start with the debt ceiling negotiations. I mean, I don't think there's anybody on the planet, or at least in this country, who doesn't think y'all are going to reach some kind of deal like they do in these labor negotiations. Every time the doormen go on strike in Manhattan, then you have to sign up to agree to, carry people's luggage or whatever, and that never happens. So, but where are we with the negotiations?
Well, it's probably more like a garbage strike in New York, but the similarity is this. This is a self-inflicted wound by your government. President Obama said he won't sign a short-term increase. The fact is he signed a funding through September months ago. So the truth is we don't have to have an August 2nd deadline. We've actually agreed to what the funding is for the government through the end of September. The big question here in Washington, at least as one Republican, is, are we serious about cutting spending this year? Because all the rest, there are all kinds of pejoratives, but it's just crap. It's absolute crap to think that promises over 10 years mean anything. The only thing the American people can count on is, have we agreed to spend less money this year, period? And that's a negotiation that's going on. The president would like to have tax increases this year, spending out 12 years. We would like to have spending cuts this year, and quite frankly, no tax increases, because tax increases always happen, spending usually doesn't, and spending cuts usually don't.
Let's talk about Moody's downgrading our rating.
Oh, look, the fact is, if we can't get rid of a $1.4, $1.6 trillion deficit year after year after year, they should. I mean, at what point do you downgrade somebody who's losing money? The reality is we're collecting virtually as much money as a percentage of the economy here in Washington as we ever did. We're simply spending 30, 40, 50% more than we should. And until we stop spending more, we should be downgraded if we can't make that change. Don, we've got to make the change. The only question is the change to take away basically all of your leftover money above maybe, $35,000 to pay that doorman? Or do we in fact make cuts to programs that don't need to happen in America, or at least don't need to be spent in Washington?
You sound a lot more sensible when you call me Don as opposed to, like Senator Kerry when he was running for president, he would call me the I-Man, which made him sound like an idiot. It's one thing if Bernie or Connell calls me, but I mean for a supposedly elected, respected member of Congress, which you are, and Senator Kerry is, it just sounded, I don't know, stupid. So good. So congratulations on that note. And whatever else you said, I wasn't paying all that close attention, except that, you're in the House Oversight Committee, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, there's some rumor. Bernard was trying to explain to me some various questions to ask you, trying to get me to get interested in this conversation because, again, nothing to do with you. It's just I just think we're all getting our chain jerked. But he said that there was some suspicion that Moody's was in cahoots with Obama and had met with the Tea Party people and trying to scare everybody to death. And what do you know about all that?
You can find a conspiracy before or after 10 a.m. in Washington any day of the week. But the reality is that these rating agencies have no idea how to rate a $17 trillion economy like the United States. They have no idea how to rate the debt worthiness of a $14 trillion debt like the United States. So it's not something you can really quantify. Don, the reality is, if America can, in fact, pay its bills, it's AAA. And if we can't pay our bills, then it doesn't matter what rating they give us. Right now, we can pay our bills, but we're heading toward the kind of spending and debt to where someday we wouldn't be able to pay our bills, and that's what's got to change.
I don't know. I get to thinking about calling me Don is a little familiar. I mean, I don't know you all that well.
Okay.
How about
I can
Imus?
go to the I-Man in a heartbeat.
Oh, okay. Well, now, finally, on a more serious note, this Fast and Furious, digressing like a drunk at, well, wherever. This Fast and Furious gun-running thing that's ensnared Eric Holder in a mess here may force him to resign. Is that all accurate? Or?
I'm afraid it is. This is a little bit like Iran-Contra. When they cooked it up,
which, by the way, was a great idea, Iran-Contra. I thought it was a terrific idea.
Imus, when they cooked it up originally, it probably sounded good. When they looked at it after the fact, it sure sounded stupid to end up with, in that case, a couple thousand Stinger missiles in the hands of bad guys who would give them to even worse guys. In this case, over 2,000 high-powered weapons, including these 50 caliber sniper rifles, went to Mexico, and some stayed here, and are in the hands today of the drug cartels because ATF, under orders from Justice, Eric Holder, as you said, they agreed that they were going to let these things deliberately get into the hands of the bad guys, and then when you found them at the scene of crimes with dead people, they would know where they came from. The only problem is we found them at the scene of crimes with dead people, both Mexican citizens and a U.S. Border Patrol agent, and somebody said, well, wait a second, we don't let guns walk, and they testified, Eric Holder and others keep testifying, we don't let guns walk, but that's just a lie. They did let guns walk. They did knowingly turn tail as they watched those guns head either north or south into Mexico, and they did it for over 2,000 weapons, and all they have to show for it is some low-level gun buyers.
Well, that sounds like something we need to look into. Of course, Holder claims he didn't know anything about it. Well, thank you, Congressman Issa, for being a good sport. I do apologize for being late, but it is what it is.
Don't let it happen again, Imus.
I won't. Congressman Darrell Issa here on the Imus Morning Program. You know those alarms that go off in your car that annoy the hell out of you and keep you up all night?
Don't go there.
It was Darrell Issa. He's the one who invented those and owns that company, or did own it.